For today's notes, you're going to be looking at factoring using the greatest common factor. So there's a couple steps. First, you're going to find the GCF of all the terms in the polynomials. Next, you're going to factor it out. It's kind of like dividing everything by the GCF. Your answer will be in the form of the GCF, and then we'll have whatever's left over in the parentheses. And then to check, you can distribute back and make sure you get the original expression. So I'm going to start with number 1 like we did last week with making a list for those that like to do that. So for 6, we have 1 times 6. We have 2 times 3. And then x and x. For 15, we have 1 and 15, and 3 times 5, and then a single x. So I'm going to look to see, okay, what is the largest number that they both have in common. Okay, so they both have a 3, and then they both have 1x. So the GCF is going to be 3x. Now, this is where we stopped last week. So if you'd like to list it out, I'm going to suggest that you cross out any of the other pairings that didn't work, and then you have what is left behind. So in parentheses, we're going to put what we did not use, which is 2x right here. So that's going to be listed first. We're going to use the plus sign because that's what's here. And then we have left over a single 5. So this will be our GCF, or factoring with GCF. So if we check it, 3x and 2x gives us 6x squared. 3x times 5 gives us 15x, which is the original expression. So this is just one way to show it. We are taking out what they have in common and seeing what is left behind. Now, could you have done this without listing it out? For sure. So let me get rid of that. So here's our answer. So let's say you don't want to make a list, and some of us don't need to. So you would look to see, okay, what does 6x squared plus 15x have in common? What's the biggest number that I could divide into both of them? Well, that would be 3. And then you want to see, okay, how many x's do they have in common? They have x. So from here, if you want, you can just think about, okay, I'm going to divide everything by 3x. So 6x squared divided by 3x would give us 2x. Plus sign, 15x divided by 3x. The x's would eliminate, and we would get 5. So you get the same exact answer. So if you don't need to make a list, you don't have to. So number 2, again, I'm going to list it out for those that might need it. So starting with 16y squared, we have 1 times 16, 2 times 8, and 4 times 4, and y. We're going to ignore the negative right now. We'll put that in when we go to write our factored answer. So we're just focusing on 24. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and a y. And then we have 32. So 1 and 32, 2 and 16, 4 and 8. That's it. So looking at our list, we want to see what is the biggest number that they both have. Again, if you don't want to list it out, you're looking to see what is the biggest number you could divide into all of them. And we're looking at 8. So they'll have an 8. And then that is it. They do not have a y in common because there are no y's in this last piece. So if we are going to do the list, I'm going to cross out any of the other combos that multiplied to give us those values that we did not use. So I'm going to cross them out. And now I'm going to look to see what is left behind. So I have a 2y. So that's going to be 2y squared. Our symbol is going to be subtracting because that's what's in the problem. And then we have a 3y left behind. Our symbol is now plus, and then we have a single 4. So plus 4. So again, if we wanted to check our answer and we multiply it back through, we would get 8 times 2y squared, which is 16y squared, 8 times negative 3y, which is negative 24y, 8 times 4, which is positive 32. So you get the same exact expression you have in the beginning. Okay. All right, number 3, same thing. We're going to start by breaking down our 12 into the two whole numbers that multiply to give us 12. 24, same thing. We just did 24 in the problem above. So we can just copy that list with A and A. And then 6. Okay, so we're looking to see what is the biggest number that they both have, or all three of them have, which would be 6. And they all have a single A. So GCF is going to be 6A, and then we're going to put what's left behind. So again, if you want to do the list, this is where you cross out all of the other combos that did not work to give you your your numbers, the factors that didn't work. So looking at my first list, I have a 2 and 3 A's, so that would be 2a to the third. I have a plus sign, so I'm going to do plus. And then I have 4a. And then I have subtraction. And then the only thing I have is a 1. So we'll do minus 1. And then again, to check, you would multiply 6a and 2a to the third to get 12a to the fourth. 6a and 4a to get positive 24a squared. And then 6a minus 1 to get negative 6a, which is the original expression. All right, and then the last one, same thing. We're going to take our numbers and write out our factors. And then we have our letters. So we have 15, 3 and 5, x, and a y. 30, and then x and y. So again, looking to see what is the biggest number they all have in common, which is going to be a 5. They all have a single x and a y in common. So GCF is 5xy. So now, if I like to do my list, I'm going to cross out all of my combinations that I didn't use, and I'm going to see what is left behind. So I have a 1x squared y. So I could write it as 1x squared y or just x squared y. I'm going to be subtracting because that's the symbol right here. And then we have a 3x left over. I'm going to be subtracting again with a 6. So minus 6. And then again, to check our answer, for those that like to check, if we distribute back through, we should get 5x cubed y squared minus 15x squared y. Remember, the exponents get added when you multiply. When you multiply the variables, the exponents get added. And then we'll do 5xy times negative 6, which is negative 30xy, which again is the original expression. So what we're going to have you do is take a look at evens or odds. It does not matter to me which one you want to do. And then work on the handout.